Hello, everybody. Eric Ballner, Michael Dunn here in the bullpen, brought to you by Hilltop Office Supplies. Dunny, what's happening?
Not much, man.
Merry Wednesday.
It is. It's a little bit chilly here tonight than it normally has been. Like, you know, the last couple of weeks been pretty sticky and
It's
Queenslandy
cold,
weather.
baby.
But welcome back to West Beach, right?
Jesus, it's cold. Got to get used to it. My God, Tassie weather for my big golf trip
Oh, yeah,
coming
you're
up.
in
Got
for
to
some
get
fun,
ready.
man.
This is Tassie weather. We're fine with it.
Take plenty of balls with you. That's
Everyone
all I can
is
tell you.
freaking out about this 2-2-2 day.
2-2-2-2.
Yeah.
And the weather today was supposed to be 22.
It was at 2:22.
Yeah.
Everyone's freaking out. I never actually got to appreciate Richie Beno, and that seems to be what everyone's freaking out about.
He was a legend. Absolute legend.
Not as big as a legend as us.
How you going, man? What have you been up to? Apart from going to see your dad
Gonna see my dad
in 3.5 years. That's
getting
a
some
big thrill.
club ball broadcasts in. Those are going well. We were at Woodville, Port Adelaide last night. We're going to Golden Grove next week.
We are. We have to pack a lunch and a couple of beers for that one.
We will. Yeah, it'll be a fun game though. We get to see Jake Campbell. As you know, I'm apparently the head of the Jake Campbell hate club because don't give him the MVP at Super League games. But maybe we'll see if he can redeem himself. I love watching Jake Campbell play. We'll see him and AJ throw.
Yep.
And then a couple weeks after that, I think they've lined one up for Henley and Grange again. West Torrens are keen. Port are keen. So, yeah, it's been pretty good.
That's
but,
fantastic.
Yeah, here's the broadcast that we did last night. Port beat Woodville 7-4. Some big games in there. Crucially in this, Southern Districts win, Kensington win, and all the teams that are chasing them except for Port Adelaide lose. So Port Adelaide are now the Hunters. They're 5 points behind with about 11 games to go. Did you watch a bit of that Port Woodville game last night?
Yeah, I watched a little bit of it. I heard your conversations with Jack and
Carly.
So that was good. They got a bit of an input about what they were up to. Wasn't the cleanest game we've seen.
Free bases,
as we talk about all the time, isn't it? Free bases they hurt you every single time. So.
This play, though, that was the big one. This was one that turned it. Nick Vasic.
Yeah, that was a great play. He played that really well. Threw a strike and got the out. So and ended up helping Port get the win 7-4 and keep within reach of Southern Districts, which we keep talking about every week.
So Southern Districts and Kensington are the teams that are being chased right now. Meanwhile, Goodwood pulling away. They've won 5 in a row. Sturt smoked West Torrens.
Yes.
Smoked them.
Yes.
So they put that top 4 is now separated. Kensington kind of in between at 5th, in between that 6th spot. You'll see the standings up in a second. But I just kind of want to point out in the standings, take a look at who's in 7th place. That's Port Adelaide. And take a look who's in 6th, Southern Districts. They play each other this weekend.
Massive game, isn't it? So Southern Districts either pull away or Port pull a little bit closer. And as you said, there's still there's plenty of games left, right?
There is.
After this weekend, you've still got 10 games where there's 20 points still available for both those teams. But we did have a look. The Port have got a couple of games. What was it?
So they played 5 games in a row versus
teams.
the top 6, and they haven't beat a top 6 team yet this year.
That's a big point, right? And Southern Districts probably feel pretty comfortable with knowing that stat, right?
Yeah.
That Port, they've got to beat the teams above them, or they're no chance of catching Southern Districts because their games at Southern Districts will win some of those, and they'll just pull further and further away.
And they are a long time overdue for a finals berth over at Hawksland down there. They are wanting to make this. Talk to Nick Hutchings a little bit as well. And he's like, yeah, this is a huge game coming up.
Yeah, it's been a long time. And I mean, just because Woodville lost 2 yesterday against Port, don't count them out yet either. They've got some pitching stock in there that can certainly help them win some games, and the pitching stock they've got, if they're on, will beat those top teams.
How would Curtis Mead look if he was playing at West Torrens right now?
Yeah, he'd look a little bit. He would be a key player.
He's our guest today, by the way. We talked to him.
He is. We did. We had a chat with him yesterday, so that was good to catch up with him. And he's missing everybody, and looking forward to coming back. But he's very excited to get started into his new season and what it might entail for him to have a big year, and might be a few of us getting on a plane sometime later in the year to see what he's up to.
If he ever makes the big leagues, we're all there to cover the first game.
No
There's no
doubt.
Here's the stats leaders though for the Div 1 men's comp. I'm sure Curdy would be up there in the ranks if he was playing. He hasn't played club ball for a couple years though. Jeremy Creswell, your boy, back up at the top of the batting average leaderboard. A lot of Goodwood in there. Mike Bishop with 25 RBI keeps doing it, but Jeremy Creswell keeps getting it done.
As I said, in that clutch position,
you want him.
He's the guy you want. So you nearly get 5 hits from every 10 at bats. He's the guy you'd want certainly coming up, and he's got 17 RBIs there as well.
Yeah, so, good year.
Coming in those sort of positions and critical times when you need to score runs, he would get my nod every single time.
Here's a look at the statistical leaders. We've just got the ERA and WHIP in here because AJ's won the strikeout total. Like we've just
by a billion.
He just keeps on going. He hasn't even played the last couple games. But again, it's the new and born show at the pitcher. But Damon Arnold, I think he's been the real breakout pitcher for me this year. I know he had a good year last year. He was really good on those under 18, 16 state teams coming up, but he's really kind of found his comfort over at Sturt. And I wonder if Sturt are going to use him as a starting pitcher, maybe instead of Tyndall in a playoff game, and use Tyndall as the relief guy, because those are 3 big arms they now have at Sturt.
Well, and they need every single one of them. So if and they all need to be on. That's
they
the
do.
thing. If one of them's off, you're in trouble, right?
But they got 3.
The others, well, they've got 4 really, haven't you? You got Arnold, you got Tyndall, you got JBR, and I thought there was one other.
Well, they do have guys like Hutton they could bring up and throw,
he would be the 4th one that you'd throw. And there's no doubt if they get into a final series and it goes to Game 3, that those guys will definitely have to throw for them.
100%. So it's going to be an interesting. Let's talk some women's baseball real quick here. 2 big games though in the weekend. It was the battle of 4th and 5th and 2nd and 3rd. Now, if you finish top 2, you get the double chance game, and you need to be in the top 4 or 5 to make the finals.
Yep.
Well, Woodville, who had lost a bunch of games in a row, steadied the ship. They beat East Torrens, and then Southern Districts smashed Glenelg 11-3. Glenelg on a bit of a slide. Southern Districts, now look at those standings, Duddy. Southern Districts, who are a few points behind, are now in 2nd. There's only 4 games to go. There is a makeup game that probably needs to happen because of the rain.
Yep.
Maybe, but Sturt are on their way almost to clinching the minor premiership, and Southern Districts move into the double chance spot. That's big for them.
So virtually every team plays each other once more.
Yep.
If you've got 4 or 5 left. Sturt probably need 1 more to clinch.
Yep.
And then they're done. And then the rest of them battle it out to see who's going to get that extra double chance. So
and East Torrens pretty much need to win. They need to run the table pretty much from here on out to get in. They've been competitive in games. It's their first year up in Division 1, so big credit to them.
Yep.
They're not an easy beat at all. Even the Woodville game was close until a couple players kind of broke out. But East Torrens, they're going to be good in the future. They got a lot of young players. But, yeah, it's kind of looking like that Woodville-Glenelg would be an interesting elimination game from 2 teams that probably have higher expectations.
It would be, especially if Woodville have all their players, right? If, Carly Moore doesn't get hurt again and they've got all their pitching stocks in place, they're a big chance.
They've been run down by weddings, injury, and COVID close contacts, and this is the first time they were as a full squad since like October on the weekend, and they played pretty good. There's some key performers from this that we got to give a big shout out to.
Yep.
Take a look at some of these numbers. Deb Hutchings went 3 for 3, by the way, with Southern Districts. Drove in a couple runs. So Deb Hutchings, a huge game for her. And Molly Brown, we're going to give a shout out to her. There was 2 players on Woodville that had multi-hit games. Molly Brown was one of them. Mm-hmm. Her first multi-hit game, she had a double. She had 2 hits. Drives in a key run for get Woodville back. That's someone that bats 8 or 9 in the lineup. First year playing Division 1 baseball, and that's a big contributor. So good for Molly Brown.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great for her. And as you said, the more they play, the better they're going to get. So we look forward to the future of women's baseball and teams getting stronger and stronger and giving some real big opposition to the Sturts and the Glenelgs and the Southern Districts in years to come.
All right, Dunny, we've got Curtis Mead coming on in a second, and we'll get to him in a minute. But I was calling a game with Jack O'Loughlin last night, and we started reminiscing. We were talking about, and Jack's got a good story, too. We're going to get him on the show either next week or the week after.
Yep.
But Curtis and Jack are part of this really special generation of baseballers in South Australia. And Jack and I were talking last night about Curtis Mead and the kind of Brody Areola, Harry Nucky, all those groups that are playing together. So it kind of got us walking down memory lane, looking at the 2018 state team starting lineup. Look at this starting lineup that was in the gold medal game, plus a couple pitchers. Mason Clavel played for the Giants at the time of that state championship. Blake Farr, college. Sean Maple, college, and crushing it in South Australian baseball. Curtis Mead, he's done a couple things. Tom Rundle. Griffin Weber plays for the Giants now. Brody Areola plays for the Giants now. Harry Nucky has had some ABLABs, had a 3-game hit game for Sturt. Jared Miller, he won the Golden Bat of this tournament. We lost him to footy. I say we as in baseball. But he's unbelievable athlete. And the pitching, Tyson McKee, Jacko, Kai Hampton, Will Corticus. Jaden Eldridge is like 4th in the SABL in strikeouts. Ozzie McClure, college. And then the bench pretty good too, like Ruckel, Park, Unger, Caskey, Cooper Marsh, Zach Stroud, Cam Blackwell, Joe Lewis. Like that starting lineup especially loaded.
Yeah, and testament to it. That's why they won the national championship, right, with a team like that. So very, very strong team. And you can see by what those guys have done from then until now, it proves why they were such a good team.
You were part of a generation as well that all kind of came up at the same time, whether it be like you, Davo, Scotty, Watsy.
Well, we won
everybody pushing each other, right?
We won an under 18. We should put that up as well.
We should get next week. Let's get that up.
And we won a championship in Perth under Ron Harvey that had me, Dom Hodges, Davo, Matty Graves. It had a whole group of guys that went on to play ABL baseball.
This is going to frustrate me.
Mega amount of them.
Because it was like a 30-year drought between so it would be in 88 when you won it?
88, correct.
Yeah, and then there was a 30-year drought that they broke in 2018, and the under-16s broke a drought 2 or 3 years before that was a 33-year drought. There was like 3 father-son combinations that were on both of those teams. I actually can't remember who they were. It was for sure Burke Weber.
Oh, Burke Weber was on it,
yeah,
yes.
and Griffin Weber.
Yep.
Was Tim Mead on your team?
No, he's a bit older, so he wouldn't have been.
Who were the other 2?
Don't know. We'd need to go back and have a look. It'll be an interesting...
Someone's going to be commenting right now who that is.
Yeah, it would be interesting to have a look. We had a really good team that year as well. So
let's get that up next week.
Yeah, have a look at it and see who's gone on from there. There's some really big names on that as well. So, Mark Hutton was on that.
There's father-son combination in there. We'll go look it up. Maybe even in the break here, because we're going to throw to an interview with Curtis Mead, who is the shortstop, and he won the MVP of that tournament under 18. Yeah, not a surprise. So what's Curtis done lately?
Well,
he had his first that year though in 2018. The Bite were horrible, and Curtis Mead got a call up in the middle of December. And in his first series in Brisbane, he hit a home run, which was sick. Then he had to go and play the under-18 state championship. Then he came back, played the rest of the season with the Bite. And then from then, he has launched himself. He got signed, and he had his first full season, which we'll get the numbers up after this interview with him. But it was a good chat with him. Yeah,
it was a great chat. And, I mean, he loves being a part of it. He knows where he came from, and he appreciates and respects that. And he's just a good dude.
So this chat's about 20 minutes or so. Let's go to the break, come back to Curtis Mead, and then we'll see you after the Curtis Mead interview.
Absolutely.
See you then.
Hilltop Office Supplies are here to provide you with all your stationery, sanitary products and office equipment. We are a local business servicing local communities with the ability to offer you and your business the best prices. We offer a large range of office supplies from pens, ink cartridges and toner to monitors, keyboards and laptops. If you can't see it on our website or in our catalogue, ask us and we'll source it for you. We have a partnership with Kaishira Document Solutions where you will find many leasing options available for these state-of-the-art units and plenty to choose from whether you have 5 or 5,000 employees. We offer businesses a one-stop shop for all cleaning, kitchen and bathroom needs. Check out our website at www.hilltopofficesupplies.com.au. Register your business to stay on top of the latest sales and receive member specials. We are baseball people here to support the baseball community.
Welcome back to In the Bullpen. Eric Ballner, Michael Dunn, now in digital Zoom form. We've converted over here, but we've got a special guest all the way from the United States. It's South Australian, Curtis Mead. Curdy, thanks for taking some time to join us.
No problem, boys. Good to see you both again, and thanks for having me on.
Curdy, what's happening? What's your off season look like? Because I see photos of you on Instagram in Panama and Nashville and Texas, and like you're just globetrotting.
Yeah, no, it's been kind of crazy. I'm not quite enjoying the cold weather yet, so I thought I hadn't had a summer. I mean, I hadn't had a winter for probably, let's say, 3 years, but so I thought I'd be enjoying it. But it's been below zero multiple days over here, so that's been full on. But I spent most of my time in Nashville. So.
You're talking to a Canadian here, so be careful the way you use the word winter, Curdy.
Yeah.
So what was the story with Panama? You just go out there for a bit of a break, or?
Yeah, so we were actually talking about doing Christmas out there. So my auntie and uncle, dad's brother and his wife live out in Panama. Dad's brother works on the mines in Africa, so then she's kind of a world traveler. So they kind of went researching on Google top places to retire. Came across Panama somehow, went out there, visited, really enjoyed it. And then so they got a place out there. They got a really nice place, a penthouse. And so then my sister had been out there previously over like a Thanksgiving break or something. So then she went there for Christmas with Cara Schultz, one of her friends who's also in college, because she didn't go home either. So then me and Delaney went out for I think it was 5 or 6 days just before Christmas to catch up with everyone and see some family over Christmas, and then came back to Nashville for Christmas. So
because those are all South Australian softballers you just dropped, including your sister, because she's over at school right in the States too. So you got both the Meads over there.
Yeah, she's in Lakeland, Florida. So just in between Lakeland and Tampa. So she's not too far away. So.
Do you catch up with her often?
Yeah, we try to. When I go down to spring in probably a month, I'm gonna stop in, spend a night with her, and yeah, we try to. It's tough with her schedule being full on and mine, but yeah, we make it work.
So before we talk about baseball, I guess your Arizona Fall League ended mid-November. Have you done much baseball in the last couple months, or has it been a nice little break?
I probably had December off. So get back November 20th, take it easy for probably 10 days. Like I was back in the gym just after Thanksgiving, which was the 27th. So then get done then, spend all December kind of doing some speed work, running, agility and lifting. And then after Christmas, just before the new year, picked up a bat and a ball again. So probably spent the last, month or so working hard again, getting the swing right and getting the arm right. So yeah, it's been good.
When you're not playing baseball, like after that month, do you start to miss it after a while, or is it kind of like, okay, back to work type kind of vibe?
Nah, definitely miss it. I mean, obviously I finished a lot later than some of the other guys. So everyone else, when I started lifting again, they were starting to hit. So, there was a few days I was like, I wouldn't mind going in, jumping in and see what I can do. So, but yeah, I held off just to kind of give the body a rest. But yeah, no, I'm definitely glad to be back into it.
Because your 2021 was ridiculous, right? Like you started in Brisbane on the first week of January. We all had to commandeer a plane to fly back in the middle of a lockdown. Got caught up in some more lockdowns during the Giant season. Then you went and did some spring training. Then you did low A, then high A, then a brief call up to triple A, back to low A, go through the championship run there, then off to Arizona Fall League with some camps in between. What the hell, dude? Like, how do you, don't you get tired from that?
Yeah, it was definitely a full-on year. And then when they speak to me in September about the Fall League, I was kind of thinking, oh, God, like, I don't know if I want to do that. Like, more games, like, my body's definitely feeling it. You wake up. It's funny. Towards the end of the year, I was going to bed at 12 and waking up at 12. Like, I was getting a full 12 hours in because I was just knackered after every day. So, but then obviously the Arizona Fall League was a good break. Like we had scheduled days that we were playing and on, and then rest days. So yeah, it worked out pretty good. But yeah, no, it was definitely an unbelievable year, and I couldn't have written the script any better. So yeah, I was really happy with how it went.
And you talk about the camp you've been on for the last 4 days, Curdy. Just talk us through that, and what was the meaning behind that with the Rays, and why you had to go to that, and where it sort of leads to from there.
Yeah, so they invited, I want to say, at least half, maybe 75% of the minor league players, well, more so position players, down for. There was a camp the week before me, and then when I went, so it was a 4-day camp, and it was kind of like a check-in. So they get everyone in there, see how you're looking, let you hit BP, take some ground balls, throw a little bit, and just kind of. The goal was by the end of the 4 days, you'd have like a little checklist, I guess, to work on for the month before spring training. So they kind of gave me a few little things to work on. So yeah, it was really beneficial.
And what's your conversation from there about spring after those 4 days? They've given you any indication of what they might have some intentions for you at spring training at this stage, or you're still sort of sitting and waiting and not really knowing where you stand?
Yeah, so obviously there's the unknown with the lockout at the moment. So we've been in conversation with that because it'd be a good opportunity this year if I get to play in some big league games during spring training. So still kind of that's a little bit up in the air, but they told me that I'd probably be around that, which would be February 20th. But then in the same sentence kind of told me that the chances of starting on February 20th are pretty low. So if that doesn't go ahead, then I'll be down there on the 4th of March, which will be just like minor league spring training. So, and then hopefully the big leagues get going and I can get in and around some of those games and get some experience.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's only 3 weeks away. So you just got to kind of be like ready to move.
Yeah. I mean, I'm fortunate enough now I got the car. So I've kind of before I used to pack my life up into 2 bags and travel around. Well, now I've kind of got 2 bags, a car, so it's a little bit better. So, but yeah, no, it'll come on quick.
That's kind of what I wanted to touch on a little bit, because I think a lot of people here, they ask all the time about you in South Australia. You're definitely missed around here, but we always see, we can see the stats, we can see some video highlights, we can see some photos. It's pretty easy to follow along how you're doing. But I think the part that for me I'm finding interesting is you're playing in low A in Charleston up until mid-June, and then all of a sudden you're going to Bowling Green, and within a space of 3 days, all of a sudden you're no longer in Charleston and you're in another place. So how does that conversation happen with your club? And then how do you go about moving?
Yeah, so it was funny. I mean, I was playing really well in low A and kind of getting itchy. Like I wanted to like kind of get challenged a little bit more and progress, and I felt like I was ready for the next step. So I start talking a little bit to my agency, talk to the manager in low A. You know, everyone on the team is saying, oh, when are you getting called up? When are you getting called up? And I obviously don't know. And so I asked the coach the week before I got called up and said, you know, is there anything else I can do to help my chance of getting moved up? He said, look, it's just a process. Like although you're playing really well, you're the youngest position player on our team right now. So like you just got to do your time pretty much. So I was like, yep, no worries. All right. So then we get back from traveling from Kannapolis in North Carolina, and then have the day off Monday in Charleston, pack up Monday night. Tuesday morning, I get to the field, pack up my locker, and get everything ready to go. We're going an hour and a half down the road to Columbia to play another week. And it was funny. I kind of was ready to go, and one of the coaches kind of pulled me aside because he was like, oh, just don't get ready to go just yet. Like, maybe just help out with this and that. So I'm kind of fiddling around the locker room. And then all the coaches pulled me into the locker room, and they were just like talking, saying how like they're really proud of me and everything. And then one of them, it was funny. It was just after the PGA Championship. They were playing at Kiwi Island, and our coach had a hook up to the Kiwi Island course. And he said, oh, Curtis, like, we're going to take you out next Monday to Kiwi Island. Like, we're going to take you out there. You've been playing great. Like, this would be a good opportunity. And I was like, oh my God, this is awesome. Like, I've been wanting to get on there when I've been in Charleston. But then he said, like, unfortunately, you're not able to go. And I was like, what do you mean? I'm not doing anything next Monday. Like, we got the day off. I'm happy to go. And then he was like, oh, you'll be in Bowling Green. And then, yeah, it was a pretty cool experience. The whole coaching staff was there. But then, you know, it happens quick. I'm thanking them, saying thank you for everything you've done for me in the last kind of 2-3 months. And then they go, okay, you got a flight in 3 hours and you're on your way to the high A game that night. So yeah, it was pretty full on.
That's a whirlwind, because I get stressed packing for a trip that I've gotten like 10 days from now, and I have it planned, know exactly where I'm going with an itinerary. Yeah. You literally don't know what's happening in that situation on Wednesday if it's Monday.
No, well, yeah, as I said, then I leave the field, go back to my place and grab everything else, because I just had like a week's worth. Grab everything else, go to the airport, fly into Atlanta, drive 2 hours from Atlanta to the game. I get to the high A game, and it's like the 5th inning, and I'm thinking, well, I'm not playing tonight. Like, they told me I wasn't going to play.
It's the 5th inning.
I walk out. Yeah, it's the 5th inning. I walk out with a jersey on, at least my pants, a belt, but I've got my turf shoes on, and like I didn't bring my glove, my bat, or anything. I haven't warmed up. I haven't done nothing. And I get out there, and the high A coach goes, "Hey, congratulations! Like, you'll be in there tomorrow." And he's like, "Well, where's your cleats?" And I said, well, what do you mean? You told me I'm not playing today. And then they said, well, no, go back in, grab your glove and your cleats. We might use you later in the game. And I was going, oh my God, like, I feel terrible. I've been on a plane. I've been in 2 hours in a car. I was like, yeah, it was a pretty crazy experience.
Were you nervous going from the level up? You said you were itchy for that challenge earlier. So was it a feeling of nerves or kind of embracing it when you got that?
Definitely both. You know, everyone in higher knew how well I was playing. So it's kind of, and some of these guys hadn't seen me play. So they were like, oh, what's this guy going to bring to the table? Like, what's he all about? I get in there and, you know, I'm in the middle of the lineup the next day. And I think lots of the older guys were kind of taken back. Like, who's this kid? Like, he's hitting 4 day one. Like why is he straight in the top of the lineup? So it was kind of intimidating at first, but then, you know, they really kind of made me feel comfortable. And then I played out the first week. I think I had a hit maybe every one of my games. Like, I wasn't feeling great, but I was just kind of getting the ball rolling, and then went back to Bowling Green and started to feel comfortable once I moved into a place. And yeah, that was a good experience.
Gunny, you might even have some comments of this just in teams in general, and especially you, Curdy. I was thinking about this last night. Like, the social anxiety for me, if I was in your shoes, would be through the roof, because like going into a new clubhouse with a bunch of strangers, and you're a foreigner. Like, I know what that feels like to walk into a room where you're not from anywhere and you're just this stranger and everyone's like, who the hell is this guy? Like, I wouldn't be able to sleep. I can be an anxious person. That would be just drive me throughout the wall when I'm going into a new team.
Yeah, no, it was wild. I mean, as I said, I'm shaking people's hands as they're mid-game. The pitcher's just come off. He's thrown 5 shutout. He pitched for Perth, Jacob Lopez.
Yeah, I remember.
He kind of shakes my hand. He goes, "Oh, hey, Curtis, congratulations," as he's dripping sweat and in the middle of the game. And it was just kind of funny. So yeah. No, I mean, it was definitely like, I thought I was like really ready to like move on and everything. And then it kind of all hit me for the first week or so. And then I kind of got my feet under myself and got rolling.
Johnny, how do you go when you're just like trying to bring in new people to a team? Because as a coach, I'm sure that's even a different perspective, right? Like trying to get everybody on the same page, especially making the new people feel welcome.
Well, it's like starting new school, right? When you start a new school, it's the same type of concept. You go in somewhere where you don't know anyone. You're trying to make some friends. You're trying to make people feel comfortable, and it's the same sort of concept with that sort of team. But I guess in the team environment that Curtis is in, everyone's trying to take his spot too. So it's a bit of dog eat dog in that sort of situation as well. Yes, people are friendly with you, but they're also trying to take your spot in the lineup. So it's and especially you have a lot of, the Rays have got a lot of South Americans in their teams, right, Curdy? So probably a lot of conversations too that early on, until you learn to speak a bit of Spanish, you don't know what they're talking about either, right? So they're like, who's this Aussie kid coming down here trying to just think he can play baseball type stuff? So I'm sure that's an interesting concept for you as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I definitely found that transition harder to high A than I did the one later in the year to AAA.
Really?
Yeah, well, because going to high A
call up. Start with how you got the call up to AAA, and then tell me.
Okay, so we're just traveling at high A, like no sign of anything. We go up to high A. I'm playing fine. I'm playing good. Then all of a sudden at the start of the week, our pitcher who was meant to come in the game, who was warming up to come in the game, gets shut down. And everyone's like, what's going on? Like, why isn't he coming in? Anyway, another pitcher comes in. He gets called up to AAA. And then everyone kind of goes, well, what's going on? Like, the guy wasn't pitching great. Like, there was no reason for him to go to AAA, I guess. It was kind of out of the blue. And then we hear word that they had maybe 2 pitchers get hurt and then 3 position players get hurt. But then at the meantime, the big leagues went across the border to Canada. So at that time, if you went across the border, the MLB set the rule as if you go across the border, like that's it. All the players you bring over the border, you can't bring them over mid-series. So like the team send 2, 3, 4 extra guys, like 2 pitchers, 2 position players ready to go just in case, because they don't want to be undermanned for the series against the Blue Jays. So then you've got 2 guys that get hurt in AAA, 2 pitchers and 2 position players. In the meantime, you got 2 guys from AAA, like pitchers and position players, going up to the big leagues. So now you're missing 4 pitchers and 4 position players. So we had me and one of our shortstop and a catcher go up there, and then 3 or 4 pitchers as well. So at the end of the game, I think it might have been a Wednesday, they call us in, and I'm going, well, I don't think I'm going to AA. Like, it's right at the end of the year. I think it was 2nd or 3rd to last week. Like, it didn't make a ton of sense. And he said, you're going to AAA. And I've kind of gone, what? Like, why? I knew that it wasn't like I've been playing awesome, so they're just going to boost me straight up there. And he said, the big league team's going across the border. Like, you're going to go up there. We think you're going to come back for playoffs in high A, but we're not totally sure. They're over there for a week. And I've gone, oh, okay, like, that's a really good experience. He said, yeah, you're playing third base tomorrow in Durham. And so then we go back. I pack up my bag again from the hotel room and hop on a 2-hour bus ride, get in at about 1:32, and then we had a doubleheader. So then I have to wake up at like 8 to play the doubleheader at 12. So I get minimal sleep and I'm going out to play AAA. I'm going, what is going on? So, yeah.
This has been a crazy year, dude.
Yeah.
I know.
And then you go to extended as well. So how does that sort of come about going extended? They wanted to send down there and that's where all the prospects went, right? So how does that sort of come about?
What do you mean?
Didn't you go to that, was it the Futures, the training camp at the end of the year where you played extra games?
Arizona Fall League, Dunny. Let's go.
League, sorry, the Fall League.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah. You're talking to an Arizona Fall League all-star right here, Dunny.
Yeah.
So it was funny. I was actually, went to AAA, came back, played one game. I think it was a Saturday, and we clinched on the Saturday first place for sure. So get back, we party, we got first place. We're playing in Bowling Green the next week. Sunday gets rained out. Tuesday we head to the Grasshoppers, Greensboro, to play the first of 5 series. And the first game gets rained out. Meanwhile, they keep me back for a meeting. I'm going, what's this meeting about? Like, everyone else is going back to the hotel, and they pulled me in and they said that they were anticipating that this opportunity would be for next year. And I'm going, what is going on? And then they said that they want to send me as a priority player to the Arizona Fall League. So I'll be like, they get each team gets one player that they pick as like the priority player, and they like get to monitor their game time. And they said, we want you to go. Like, we anticipated that this opportunity would be for the following year, but we felt like you've really matured this year and you played really well and you deserve this opportunity, so we're going to send you this year. So, and then they tell me that, so then I was like, oh, okay, no worries. And they said, oh, well, actually, you got to go out in 2 weeks. And I'm going, oh my God, like this, I'm still playing here. So I play there, week off, and then on the plane Arizona. So
dude, this is crazy because you've got people in Adelaide, myself included, and people around here pumping your tires. You've got coaches coming to you pumping your tires, saying stuff like this. But yet you're still, you finish the year playing in high A. There's a lot of players competing for that big league spot. So you see a lot of guys go around there that, their tires get pumped and they get a little bit too big and it kind of get ahead of yourself. How do you stay and take that confidence on board that people are giving you, but still stay hungry knowing that, there's still some more work to do?
Well, I think it definitely went from going to AAA. It was like, okay, I went there and played well, which fortunately, obviously short sample size.
Yeah.
Went there and played well. Come back to high A, and I was like, damn, this isn't any fun. Like, the AAA bus rides, we're sitting there. We've got like things for our feet, so we can sit with our feet up. Like, every player has their own spot. So I'm thinking, this is awesome. And then you go back to high A and you cram together, and there was definitely aspects of the game where I felt like I was a little behind in AAA. Like it was a much faster paced game. So I think going there and seeing it obviously gave me a taste, and I played well. So it was also a big confidence booster. But at the same time, I was like, I need to get back here as fast as I can. You know what I mean? That was kind of the goal, and that's what the coaching staff preached at the end of the year. They were like, we're really impressed with how you came up here and helped us win, and we ended up clinching while I was up there. So they were like, you're a big part of that as well. And we definitely think you can be here next year. So work your ass off and try and get back here next year. So I think, obviously this year was great, but there's still 2 levels to go. So there's a lot of work to be done. And I think it's more just my personality. I don't think the goal is to get to the big leagues. I think it's to get to the big leagues and play for a long time. So that's what a lot of players say. Like, you get to the big leagues, it's great, but you want to stay there. So I think it's just keeping hungry and just year by year wanting to be the best player I can. So
when Tank says the phrase "no coincidences" all the time, what does that phrase mean to you?
I definitely reached through. I think I spent a lot of time this year working hard, whether it's taking extra swings, pre-game, when I'm not playing, making sure that I get my work in with my running, extra ground balls, play a little long toss, like making sure that every day I'm getting something out of it. So I think this year was definitely not a coincidence, and I think it's due to all the hard work that I've been putting in for the, even the past 3 to 5 years. So it was awesome to kind of see it all pay off.
And before we wrap it up, message to some of those 14, 15-year-old South Australians that are
getting better, getting a little bit noticed about how they can help take that next step, especially with an opportunity like all the locals getting a chance this year with the Giants at a different level. So what's your message to those kind of guys?
Yeah, I think just to keep working hard. When I was 14, 15, I never thought any of this was really possible. So I think you don't really understand how staying consistent and working hard, how much better you can get. So I think for all of them, just to kind of push their limits and see what they can do. So, yeah, I wish them all the best of luck.
All right, Curdy, Dunny and I have a couple questions for you that we ask all of our guests on here. So I'll ask the first one. Dunny will ask the second one. But first one is, what is the greatest sporting event that you have ever been to, that you've been to so far?
Probably, I'm not sure what year it was, but it was an Anzac Day clash. I'm a big Bombers fan, so I went to 100,000 people at the MCG with my family, so I love that.
Do you get to explain what the MCG is like to some Americans that would just have no idea?
It's funny. I mean, I bump into kind of a group of 5 or 6 of them, and they start asking me about sports back home, and then all of a sudden I'm pulling up video of highlights and stuff, and they're going, "What the hell is going on?" And I'm like, it's too much to explain. It's funny. So.
Funny?
Yeah, and if you were going to go to a sporting event that one that you've always wanted to go to, past or present, what would that be, and where would it be?
Well, probably now, after spending the last 3 months watching the NFL, I'd want to go to a Super Bowl. I couldn't really put a finger on it. I mean,
talk
maybe
to Super Bowl's about Eric. Eric's not in a Super Bowl mood at the moment.
I can't watch it.
I mean,
I can't watch
probably
it.
a Super Bowl of some sort. So, yeah.
Are you a Chiefs guy now?
Yeah, probably. So I'm a bit cut up about yesterday, but yeah.
Dude, I'm
they
a
took care of
diehard Bills fan, like diehard.
I mean, that was an unbelievable game.
No, it was horrible.
That's funny.
I don't even want to watch the Super Bowl. Like I wanted the Chiefs to win just to get to the Super Bowl to kind of justify the loss a little bit more. But now that the goddamn Cincinnati Bengals are in the Super Bowl, I'm happy for their fan base and it's great for them. I understand suffering fans, but God damn it, the Bengals should not be in the Super Bowl for the Buffalo Bills. So I'm very salty about this.
I know. Well, it's been crazy. The 4 best teams by seed aren't anywhere near it. So it'll be an interesting one.
Yeah, it'll be fun to watch regardless, I'm sure. And the last one, Curdy, top song on your Spotify Wrap this year.
I think it was definitely Morgan Wallen, but I'm not sure which one. Maybe Your Bartender or 865.
Perfect. A little bit of country music.
Yeah,
he's a country guy now.
Nashville regime.
Oh, God. Well, power to you. Curtis, thank you so much for taking time to talk to Dunny and I. Really appreciate it. And all the best to this upcoming season.
Perfect. No worries. Thanks, guys. Anytime.
Thanks, mate. See you
Curtis
soon.
Mead, everybody.
See ya.
Here at Just a Thing Furniture, we offer quality, factory direct furniture at wholesale prices. From wall clocks, prints and lamps to couches, beds, rugs and outdoor furniture. We make furniture affordable, where you save up to 80% on retail, offering you the finest furniture at discount prices. When you buy from us, you won't wait months for your new furniture. Everything you see is ready for immediate delivery, and mention Super League Baseball and we'll deliver it for free. We pride ourselves on customer service, and our team works tirelessly to offer our customers on-trend furniture at heavily discounted prices. Visit our huge warehouse in Beverley, open 7 days a week, or jump online to check out our latest deals at www.justthethingfurniture.com.
Well, back inside the bullpen, brought to you by, where are we? Hilltop Office Supplies.
Hilltop,
over there.
Up here.
I was looking for that, hunting it down. Long chat, but good chat with Curtis.
No,
Good to catch up with him.
Yeah, it's been a while. We haven't seen him for a while, and he didn't come back this year, obviously, because of the COVID stuff. But, been around a long time, and I played with his dad. It's how long I've known him since he was like a foot high.
You know what's amazing, though, is after that chat, he just kind of drops. We're talking a little bit of golf. That's his numbers, by the way, coming up. That's combined over all levels, ABL to AAA to Arizona Fall League. That gets it done. But his how's his drop after we're asking about his golf game? He's like, oh yeah, I'm playing with Andrew Benintendi, and then he made up like this fake sounding name. He said something about Mookie.
Yeah, Mookie
couldn't be a real name.
Yeah, he
had a game lined up.
He had a game lined up with Mookie Betts and couldn't get it done. There was something that happened or a COVID.
Doesn't need to make up names though.
Yeah,
it's a silly name.
It's like, who's he think he is?
Yeah,
man,
who's he think he is? No,
that's
great chat to Curtis.
Yeah,
and Curtis has been one of those guys that always is right away open to doing interviews right from when he was like 15 years old on those under 16 state teams. I've been chatting to Curtis from them till now, and he's always the same each week, and it's awesome to see. I really appreciate it.
And the thing is, too, he is a good golfer, too, which makes it even worse. He plays off low handicap, like 2 or something. So
good golfer, good dude, and we wish the best for him. Hey, just quick question. We'll run it down next week. We asked the question about the 3 fathers, Joe Glewis and Andrew Glewis.
Correct.
Burke Weber and Griffin Weber.
Correct.
And the other one was Harry Nucky and Jamie Nucky.
That's correct.
Those were the 3 father-son combos.
They were the 3 that played in that team.
Hutton, Graves, Davison, Grutner, Hodges, Ashworth, Dunn, Van Pelt, Weber, we reckon, was the starters of that team that you were
the
on.
under-18 team.
And you broke your leg.
And I broke my leg in the last game against Western
So did
Australia.
someone literally say break a leg?
Break a leg, yeah, thanks.
And you did.
I certainly did.
Let's take a look at some community moments, stuff happening around the grounds. We'll start with Landon Hernandez, 200 games with Henley and Grange. He's got a Caps medal, a few runner-ups, and he's having another good year this year. 200 and probably, what's that, about 450 votes in those 200
and he'll
games?
go close again this year. He keeps, had a great game against West Torrens the night we televised that, so probably 3 there. He's certainly going to be in the running again this year for that honour as well.
Tom Edwards, 100 games at Henley. Good shout out to him. 100 games in a junior already. What is he? Was playing baseball when he was like 2?
He looks about 11.
It's unbelievable.
It's
Elena Rowe,
games,
50
right?
games for Henley's women's team. Big baseball supporter, big-time baseball player. Elena Rowe at Henley getting 50 games as well.
Look at that with the cutoffs.
I know. I love it. That looks badass over at the Rams.
Wow.
That's cool.
It's outstanding.
3 players at Southern Districts celebrating 50 games all in the same weekend. Wendy Backman is the first one. Ellie Tucker is the second one. She's a character. We don't have the last one. That's Kira O'Brien, who made that move over from softball to baseball and being on a couple state teams. Kira O'Brien, another very dangerous player. So 3 other players at Southern Districts all hitting 50 games. Second place, Southern Districts women's team.
And we probably worked that out to be, 3.5 years probably, something like that.
Because club baseball hasn't been around for a while in the women's comp.
Not for the women. And they only play, let's say somewhere between 12 and 15 games a year.
Yep.
So that's it's still a fair bit of time to get 50 up, isn't it? Yeah, totally.
Aaron Petros over at Woodville celebrating 200 games this weekend for Woodville Baseball Club. And my favorite part about the weekend, junior baseball is back, which means my social media is flooded with just a bunch of cute kids playing baseball. And they are loving it out there. Like, it's awesome to see junior baseball back at it.
Yeah, and I mean everyone in the league and Baseball South Australia have done a great job to get them back out on the field with everything that's going on as well. So there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes that people don't see to get those kids out there as well, and they do a good job to get that
Where'd
done.
you play your first junior baseball game?
Northern Districts.
No way.
Yeah,
Are you the pride of Northern Districts?
No, probably not. But, no, I lived in Ingle Farm. My mum and dad lived in Ingle Farm, and I wanted to play baseball, and I played for Norths for 2 seasons and won a league medal, and then Mr. Ronnie Harvey got under my skin, and next minute I ended up at West Torrens. As a bit older, I went to Port Lincoln for a while because Dad got transferred with work, and then I came back and made under 16, under 18 state teams, and then ended up at West Torrens.
Won a championship in '88, broke your leg.
Yeah, sort of went from there.
That's cool. Couple rounds coming up that people should be aware of. Breakthrough round, that's going to be on February 18th weekend, 18th, 19th, and 20th. Great mental health organization. Clubs, check out all the information on the website, but encouraged to name a breakthrough champion. And similar to what we did in the charity round earlier in the year, donate part of your canteen takings, rattle the tins. More information about that to come, but that's up online, and that'll be very exciting.
Yep.
And the other one is no Perth Heat coming to Adelaide. That is the announcement that nobody saw coming, that Perth was not coming. Shocker, right?
Yep.
Baseball Australia and the Adelaide Giants have worked together, so the Giants are actually flying in future Team Australia players from all around the country. So we basically just said, we were going to be paying for Perth to come anyways. Let's get the Team Australia here. So it's Team Australia futures. I've seen the early look at the list. We're not going to announce it publicly quite yet. Got to finalize. But we've got players that are currently affiliated playing over there. We've got some kids that have committed to college. We've got some kids that are come back from college. Like, we've got some good players.
Maybe some of our kids.
Can't say too much.
Yeah, maybe. I think.
But it'll be pretty cool to see the green and gold. When was the last time the green and gold played a game in Adelaide?
Oh, it'll be a long time.
Norwood would have been.
Long time.
So this is a cool opportunity.
Beach, yeah.
Last chance to see the Giants play this year. Last chance to see this roster of only locals on the team and Team Australia's playing. You got to be down to the ballpark.
Yeah, come down. It'll be great, and it'll be good to see the future of the country really, and some future of our guys will play for that as well. So, if not this weekend, definitely down the track with some of those guys will play in some junior Australian teams and hopefully some senior Australian teams later on in their careers as well. So, one thing we are missing from everybody out there is we seem to have had a drop-off on the volunteers, huh?
Yeah, so send through some volunteers of the week. Send that through to us. Message me directly even if you want to send just a shout-out to a volunteer. We'll do that at the end. Yeah,
let's they do a lot of work, and let's send some appreciations through to them for all the hard work they do and keep them involved with keeping clubs open and everyone happy.
Until then, we'll see you next week.
Yep, absolutely. See you next week with Jack O'Loughlin.